Hey guys, welcome. Merry Christmas. I hope everyone's having an awesome holiday season. This video here is being filmed on Christmas Day after opening some presents with my family. Every Christmas Day we gather together around the Christmas tree and we play some holiday music and we drink espresso and give each other gifts. And I always have fond memories of being 5 years old, 6 years old, opening presents, and just such a heartwarming experience. I hope everyone's having a great Christmas. And today I wanted to give you a gift in the form of this video, which is talking about the greatest gift that you can give to another person or even to yourself. What is the greatest gift that is possible to give? And I was reading a book from a Tibetan Lama whose name is Namgyal Rinpoche. He's actually my teacher's teacher. So I have a meditation teacher, amazing man. His teacher was a saint, and he wrote a book called The Path of Victory where he talks about what is the fastest path to achieving enlightenment. What is the fastest path to awakening, to realizing the true nature of reality, to attaining full liberation? Now, many people say, oh yeah, you don't need to achieve enlightenment. Enlightenment is not something that you have to achieve because it's already present. The kingdom of heaven is in your midst, so there's no reason to strive. And that's half true. But the other half of it is that you need to develop a wholesome life so that enlightenment can flourish within you. So it's not that you just kind of sit around and, okay, I'm already enlightened, I have nothing to do. Enlightenment is something that requires effort. And really what it requires is aligning yourself with the 5 parami, which are the 5 qualities or factors of enlightenment. So this book talks about the 5 factors of enlightenment. I'm not going to get into all 5 of them here because I want to talk about the most important of all of the factors. Namgyal Rinpoche says, if you can master the one factor that I'm going to talk about today, if you can master this one factor, then all the other factors you don't even have to worry about. Your awakening will happen speedily, it will happen quickly, and you will liberate yourself for the well-being of all sentient beings. So you don't have to worry about anything, just this one factor. And what is the one factor? Well, it's the greatest gift you can give. It's the factor of dana, or giving. So if you want to achieve spiritual awakening, if you want to achieve enlightenment in this lifetime, then you need to master the factor of giving. And there's many things that we give in life. We can give money, we can give chocolate, we can give clothes, we can give back massages. There's a lot of things that we can give each other in this life. But Namgyal Rinpoche says if you want to achieve enlightenment, you need to get really good at giving the greatest gift, which is the gift of interest. To give your interest. To give your interest to another person, and especially to give your interest to the present moment. That is the greatest gift that you can give. To give your interest to the present moment itself. If you can do that, then you will achieve full liberation, full awakening in this lifetime, and your human birth will have been worth it. So let's break this down a little bit. What is interest? Well, I was at my girlfriend's house last night for Christmas Eve, and there was a little 2-year-old child, her baby cousin, this little 2-year-old guy. He's the cutest, most fun kid to hang out with. I was playing with him, and I realized what I like the most about playing with little children, like 2-year-olds, 3 years old. The reason why I like hanging out with kids is because they are so interested in every little thing. I remember my girlfriend's baby cousin was running around the house, running in circles, and I told him, I said, hey, do you want to go see the cat? Because my girlfriend has this orange cat that just kind of hides in the corner underneath the bed. But my baby cousin wanted to see him, so we went to go find the cat under the bed, and my baby cousin, he just kind of lay himself down on the floor on his stomach. He's 2 years old. He's literally like 2 feet tall. He lay himself down on his stomach, pointing underneath the bed. He says, hey, look, under the bed. There's a cat. And I'm just like, wow, where? Let me see. So in this moment, he was so interested in that cat, and that was infectious. It actually made me interested. I actually wanted to see what the hell's under that bed. That's like, for him, it was the coolest thing ever. The fact that there's a cat there. For me in my life, I'm 21. I've seen 100 cats in my lifetime, probably more. So cats don't really interest me that much. I like cats. I like hanging out with them, but you know, sometimes in your life, as you get older, certain things tend to get stale. And that is really the opposite of interest. When you get used to something, you start to take things for granted. I tell myself, I've been alive for 20 years. I've seen so many cats. Cats aren't that interesting. Oh, whatever, it's just a cat, whatever. Not that interested in that. But this baby boy, he's 2 years old. He's never seen a cat before. If he has, he's only seen like one cat in his whole lifetime. So he's like the most interested. He wants to see. He wants to pet it. He wants to feel it. He wants to look at it. Cats are super interesting when you're basically fresh out of the womb. And that's why Jesus, in the Bible, he says, if you want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, then you need to become like a child. And right now I'm trying to walk away from other people. Everyone's watching me film on my camera. That's something I got to get used to. But Jesus said, if you want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, which is enlightenment, you want to achieve enlightenment, you need to become like a child. And I think one of the most beautiful qualities of children, something that we love so much about little children, is that they are so interested in the present moment. It is like they are seeing reality with fresh eyes, because they are. And that quality is actually infectious. When I'm hanging out with a 2-year-old child, that quality absorbs into me. It's like I'm being born. It's like I'm 2 years old now. I've never had children, but I can imagine one of the most beautiful things about having a child is getting to relive through your own childhood, to experience the wonder and beauty of reality. Reality is freaking marvelous, and you get to re-experience it again when you hang out with a 1-2-year-old child. And the main quality here is interest. To be interested in the present moment. So have you noticed in our society, a lot of different advertising and marketers want you to pay attention to them. And why do we call it paying attention? Because attention is something you actually have to pay. Your attention is valuable. It costs money. A lot of personal development teachers will say, become very vigilant about what you do with your attention and your focus. You don't want people and things and advertisements and YouTube and Instagram, these things, they're trying to steal your attention, make your attention fragmented and distracted. If your attention is distracted, if you can't focus in your life, you really can't achieve a goal. How are you going to achieve a grand vision that you have for yourself? How are you going to achieve your life purpose if you can't even focus on it? If you're distracted, always on your phone, on Instagram, you don't have a clear vision for what you want. Your attention is fragmented. Your attention is something that's very important. So Namgyal Rinpoche says, if you want to achieve enlightenment, you need to be able to manage your attention. And specifically, you need to be able to give your interest, to give your attention and your care to the present moment. So interest, when I'm interested in something, really what that means is I just genuinely care. Look at this tree over here, guys. Let's get really interested in this tree. This looks like, I think it's a blue spruce. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but nature is really, really beautiful. You can actually zoom in, and this blue spruce here, it has like a bluish kind of, it has a bluish substance, like a film on it. And it smells amazing, actually. I love the smell of pine. When you practice meditation properly, one thing that I've noticed big time is that my interest in little things has gone up significantly. So I could go look at a blue spruce tree. I can go look at the pine needle. I can pick off one little pine needle, notice the film that's on it, to smell it, to break it apart, see what's inside. That's something I used to do when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, when reality was new and fresh. The problem is, as you get older, you go to school, you get indoctrinated, you start to take things for granted. Now reality becomes stale for you. And that's a serious problem. You cannot achieve enlightenment. You cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven unless you are seeing reality through a child's eyes. Unless you're giving your interest, to give the gift of your interest and your attention and your care to the beautiful and magnificent present moment. Interest is the greatest gift that you can give. And I've noticed in my life that when I am just genuinely interested in, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? Wait a second, reality exists? That's pretty interesting. Let me explore it. Let me explore my hands. Let me go explore. Oh, look, there's some snow on the floor. I wish there was more snow because it was Christmas. But look, let's go. Look, this is the only snow we got. It's like +6 degrees today here in Toronto. But what is snow? Let's go look at it. What? What is a thought? Let me pay attention to my thoughts. What is an experience? What is a body? I'm interested. Now, another interesting point, see, interest, when you can give your interest to meditation, to personal development, to becoming the greatest version of yourself. Let's go on this park. I used to come to this park, guys, when I was 2 years old. I literally remember coming to this exact park. I'm at my parents' house now for Christmas. And I remember coming to this exact park when I was 2 years old. Wow. Talk about being a kid again. If you can give your interest to self-actualization, to your own personal development, to meditation, when you actually become interested in reality. Oh, I'm interested in science. I'm interested in history. I'm interested in politics. I actually want to learn about it just to learn. So someone that I think really exemplifies the quality of interest is Leonardo da Vinci. He was also an ENTP. What was so cool about Leonardo da Vinci was his insatiable curiosity for life. Leonardo da Vinci, I remember I was reading his biography, and this guy was interested in everything. He would sit around, he would draw trees, he would draw waterfalls, he would draw birds, he would draw animals, and he would even sometimes capture dead animals or birds. He would dissect them. He'd want to see inside them. Why did he want to do that? Just because he was interested. He wasn't a scientist. He wasn't getting paid to dissect a woodpecker. One of his famous questions was, he wrote in his diary, "I want to see what the tongue of a woodpecker looks like." Now, most people don't really think about the tongue of a woodpecker. How much time in your life have you spent thinking about the tongue of a woodpecker? But Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most curious minds to ever exist, he achieved so many paintings and sculptures and inventions and scientific discoveries, art, poetry. He thought about the tongue of a woodpecker because he was just genuinely interested in reality. No one was paying him to go find out what the tongue of a woodpecker looks like. He just wanted to know. He just wanted to see. He's just interested. He had a childlike curiosity for every single aspect of reality. And eventually what he discovered, which I think is really cool, is that woodpeckers have a really long tongue. Because their beak is very sharp, they have to peck into the wood of a tree, they have to peck into the trunk. It creates kind of a hollow cavity, and then they can stick their tongue in there to see if there's any bugs or worms or grubs that's inside the tree so that they can eat. Their tongue is very sticky, so that when they stick their tongue in, it kind of sticks to the bugs so that they can eat it. And also, when Leonardo dissected the woodpecker, it actually, if you see the woodpecker's head, it has kind of a hollow cavity around its brain. So there's its skull, there's this hollow cavity, and then its brain is inside. And its tongue actually retracts around its brain. So its tongue is super long, so you might wonder, where does it go? Well, the tongue actually stays in a sheath that's basically a hollow cavity in its skull. And so when the woodpecker's pecking the wood, it doesn't get a concussion because its tongue forms as a sort of insulation that prevents its brain from hitting up against its own skull. Because when a woodpecker pecks a trunk, it pecks with extreme force and velocity. You'd think, how the fuck do these birds not have permanent brain damage? The reason why is because its tongue actually protects its own its own brain with a cavity. Isn't that interesting? I think that's very interesting. And I notice in my life, the more interested I am in reality, the more interested I am in the present moment, the better my life goes, the more beautiful reality is, the more grateful I am for little things, the more abundant I feel, because I don't need a really stimulating video game or a really tasty junk food, like fried food. I don't need a lot of external stimulation because I'm just really interested in the present moment itself. Another insight about interest is that interest is not something that you need to develop. You don't need to build your interest. You need to realize the interest which is already present in the moment. The interest is already here. Reality is naturally interesting. You don't need to force yourself to be interested. You need to realize the interest that is already here in each moment. Reality is naturally interesting. Do you think a little kid who's 2 years old, do you think he tries to be interested in reality? Do you think that my 2-year-old cousin, do you think he was trying to be interested in the cat? Or was he just naturally interested? Just naturally curious? So, to achieve spiritual awakening, the most highest and sought after state of enlightenment, you don't have to develop your capacity for interest. All you need to do is realize how interesting reality already is. And that is the greatest gift that you can give to yourself and that you can give to other people, because that energy is contagious. If you ever hang out with somebody, if you ever hang out with me in person and you walk in a forest with me, you are going to feed off of my interest. My girlfriend does a great job of this. She gets so excited about little things in nature. She'll look at the smallest little leaf. She'll pick it off the tree and just be super interested in this one little leaf for like 20 minutes. And that's contagious. That actually rubs off on me. Now I'm interested in the leaf. She gets so excited, so interested in the shape of a tree. Or there's a squirrel on the floor. Normally, I don't really care about squirrels. I see a lot of squirrels, whatever. There's a lot of squirrels here in Canada. But my girlfriend sees a squirrel. She's like, oh my God, it's a squirrel. Wow, let's go see him. She's interested, like a little child. And I'm like, great. Now I'm interested. Thank you for reminding me to be interested. Squirrel, that's pretty miraculous. Let's go check it out. Let's go see. So your interest is contagious. That's the great gift that you can give to someone else and to yourself, is just to be interested in your own growth. Be interested in the present moment. Be interested in your spiritual development. Be interested in science, in history, in math. Be interested in exploring your consciousness, in trying out new things. Reality's interesting. And the more you can become like a child, the much easier it is for you to enter into the kingdom of heaven. That's all I got to say here today. If you guys want to check out the free guided meditation that I've created, which is amazing for filling your body with hollow, empty awareness, that is fantastic for developing your attention, your concentration, your awareness, and that's one of the best ways you can be interested in the present moment. I was using the hollow body meditation, which is free. You just got to click the link in the pinned comment. I have the hollow body meditation available for you for free. When I was practicing this meditation, I was doing it for 8 days straight, and on the 8th day, I had a non-dual awakening experience. I actually experienced a taste of enlightenment because my attention was so clear, because I was using this practice, that I was contemplating a tree. I'd go find a tree and I'd just stare at the tree. I'd just go really close and I'd stare at the tree. I'd say, what the hell is this? And I would contemplate. I would say, well, oh my God, what is a tree? What is it made of? What is consciousness made of? What is my mind made of? What is it? What is a sight? What is tree? How does that exist? What is experience? One of my favorite questions. What is experience? What is it? Be interested. Right? So one of the best ways to increase your interest is just to increase your awareness. The other ways you can do that is doing psychedelics, meditating, check out the hollow body meditation, and stay tuned because I'm actually going to be releasing a course, an in-depth course where I'm going to be helping you to accelerate the speed of your spiritual awakening. I'm going to be sharing all of the best meditation practices that I use, that I've learned from a lot of Buddhism. I'm a big fan of Buddhism, so I've learned a lot of Vipassana meditation. I'm going to be giving you an in-depth teaching for how to do it properly. I'm going to be talking about all the traps that people fall into when they're trying to awaken. And just stay tuned. I'm working on that course. It's really, really good. It's one of the most powerful set of teachings I've ever made. A lot of it I've never even talked about on the channel. So if that's something you're interested, stay tuned. It's going to be releasing within the next few weeks. So otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your holidays. And remember to give the gift. Give other people the gift of your interest. Hold space for people. Listen to them. Be interested in them. Be interested in how their mind works. Be interested in how your mind works. Be interested. Okay? When you notice reality starts to get stale or you start to get bored with the simple things, then just remember, find the interest that is already present in the moment. You don't have to try to be interested. You just have to be interested. All right, guys, that's all I got to say here. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.